using my cell phone. This is okay. You guys can hear me and everything?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Hi, Elliott.
Hi.
Oh. Hey, Info Savers.
So my name's Maria, and real quick, I'm gonna show you the V-Safe SketchUp before you get to see the V-Safe, which is behind us. But
Okay.
it's kind of like we made this SketchUp, and we made it I think a month ago or so, and
Okay.
we were trying to make a SketchUp to show people and be able to give them this, and they would understand the concept of the V-Safe and understand what it's going to have and what it's going to do.
Okay.
So the giant rectangular part is the V-Safe itself, which we made with materials that were sponsored by people and friends of Mr. Natus.
Nice.
So they donated and gave us materials for us to be able to construct our V-Safe. And
Man, that's fantastic.
Julia and me are going to explain the parts real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you want to know what that?
Yeah.
Okay. I have your slide right here. Okay. So I don't know if you can see the number. Well,
We have we labeled the parts of each V-Safe, and then we had an explanation to that goes along with it.
So
Okay.
if you can see number one is the solar panels. Well, it's
That are gonna be up here.
So the solar panels are gonna be what's gonna power and give energy to the V-Safe, which we also have this battery, which is over there, which is also going to power the V-Safe. But
Where's the battery? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
you want me to show you?
I'll show you.
Yeah, I would like to see it.
This is the battery.
Okay,
That
so
we're
a
gonna
little
use to power it.
12 volt,
Yep.
7 amp. Okay.
Basically, everything we're using is 12 volt. The battery, we want to make sure that the solar panels are 12 volt, and then the light bulb as well. So most of
Okay.
everything we're using is going to be the same volt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number two is the thermometer. The thermometer is on the side of the V-Safe. It's like that little computer part right
Right here.
there,
Sure.
and that's what we're going to use to measure the temperature, because we want to make sure that it's not too hot in there, so it doesn't harm the bees, or not too cold. And
Sure.
then there will be a switch on the side. Jeremy, you wanna?
Okay, so basically the switch is what helps us turn on the on and off the light and all the technology in the solar panel. It'll let us control the heating and the heater and the cooler, because we're gonna have a heat pad in the V-Safe instead of a light bulb. So
Okay.
so the light bulb won't overheat.
Well, currently we've been deciding with Mr. Natus whether or not we should use a heating pad or a light bulb, because we were talking to him about the heating pad. So we thought that if it was a light bulb, then the farmer or beekeeper or person who has the beehive would have to continue, have to maintenance the light bulb. And what if the light bulb went out or it broke? Then that would be an issue for the beekeeper. Because
Sure.
if we were to give this B-Safe to let's say we gave this B-Safe to you, you wouldn't want to have to maintenance it and take care of it all the time. You would say that the B-Safe will take care of what you would usually do, and it'd be in the B-Safe's hand. So you wouldn't want to continuously check up on it, and the light bulb would be an issue because it would break or it would go out. So we were deciding on using a heating pad, but then that was also going to be a problem, because then it could heat up too much, and then it doesn't have the same amount of voltage that we were going to use.
Sure. I use heating pads in my greenhouse, so not for my bees. But
Yeah.
you can set your heating pad on a thermostat, an individual thermostat. So you could set that thermostat dial, let's say, to 70 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And it would kick on, but as soon as 70 degrees was achieved, then it kicks off automatically. I use that for seed starting, and I find that pretty useful. So I don't know if that's something to look into, but maybe you put the heating pad itself on an individual thermostat.
So would it turn off on its own?
Yes. So
Oh.
basically, it's like a little right here. I have an extra one right here. Give me a second. Yeah, it turns off on its own. It's basically got a dial, just like you'd see for a heater in your classroom on the wall. It's got a dial with heat on it, temperatures. Okay, this is old and dirty, but you guys can excuse me here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had it set to 65 degrees. And oh, come on,
Yeah.
guys, you already know this. Don't have me explain anything. You guys know. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So yeah, maybe that could be a solve for it turning off automatically. No.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
have one for the heat, and then we're gonna have another one for the
The
fan.
fans.
The
'Cause-
fan.
Oh, okay. So you're
We're
already
gonna have
doing
individual
so,
ones.
So then, why do you need a heating pad?
Because
Or
we were gonna use a light bulb for insulation to keep them warm. So we have insulation built into our
Inside our
B-Safe.
safe.
It's like it's in the inside of our B-Safe, right? Each wall has like a green insulation part like taped to it and it's stuck to it. So like that's what's gonna keep the heat and conserve it inside the B-Safe. But like we need something to produce the heat, and we wouldn't be like using a heater like lately. Yeah, that's too big, and we wouldn't have space for the platform to hold the beehive or anything. So we wouldn't use
Okay.
a heater. But lately we've been using a heater to measure heat and see if the heat would be fine.
And where it escapes, so we use like
Yeah, so-
we use like Mr. Needis's phone to like see where
Yeah.
he was escaping, so we made sure that we can conceal all those parts.
So like we put the heater in there, and then we try and see where the heat is escaping from, because we wouldn't want that to happen, because of course we want it
Sure.
to like be
Sure.
inside. So that's what we were using for now, but we need
Okay.
a light bulb, because it would be small and like we'd be able to have room for the rest of the things in our B-Safe, and then the light bulb would be able to give them heat and be able to be maintained with the insulation. But
what temperature are you guys hoping to achieve in the B safe?
I think 70 to 80.
Yeah.
70 to 80.
Because I don't think they need to be like bees don't really like make body heat on their own. Sometimes
That's
they do by
actually
cuddling up.
they kind of do. So here in LA, it's like I'm a pretty moderate climate, right? I'm not as
Yeah.
cold as you guys are. So the concern for me during winter, I don't have to insulate them,
Yeah.
but it does get cold. I got down to let's say 35 degrees last month.
Yeah.
What bees have been known to do is they cluster, especially around the queen,
Yeah, they
right?
get together, yeah.
And they start generating that heat. And
They
so
get-
With their wings.
Yep.
Yeah,
they
with their wings,
to
right,
the center of the
vibrating.
hive.
So, I mean, that's an element. 70 to 80 seems like that's going to be hard to. It's going to be hard to achieve. That seems like you're going to have to be putting out a lot of energy to achieve 70. Is this talking about for winter, right?
I mean, yeah, but I guess we haven't tested it with the light bulbs yet. That's what we're gonna do this week.
We just tested the heater to see where the
we
heat
tested
was.
with the heater, and the heater gets up to like 114
100, yeah.
and 90 and stuff. So like,
And I mean,
Wow.
it's a really big heater, so
but we wouldn't want the light bulb to break, so that like I think also would kind of be a problem with heat. So
Sure.
that's why Mr. Needles and Mr. O'Donnell recommended the heating pad, but then that's also a problem. So like,
I don't know what to
we
use
were
yet.
And it's a problem because why?
well, he said that it would be a problem because he didn't want it to get too hot, and also space, and he didn't want the heating pad to like. So let's say we have the light bulb like right here, right? So it's down here, and we want it to be facing down so that the heat rises. And so like we're gonna put the beehive on the platform, and we wouldn't put the heating pad on the platform because that's where the beehive is. Was like there's this competition Lexus, and we were doing Lexus, and so I put a light bulb, but then he like told me why the light bulb wouldn't be such a good idea. I mean, the heating pad wouldn't be such a good idea, so we would switch back to light bulb.
Huh. Okay.
But I think like we're still deciding on that because we didn't really make it final whether or not it would be the light bulb or heating pad.
Still
So I think we're
in
still
between the
deciding
two.
with that.
Yeah, I would look into like what your optimal heat range goal is. 70 to 80 seems awfully high to me. Like I feel like if you were shooting to like in the dead of winter in New Jersey trying to keep it at 50 degrees, your bees are going to be stoked. I mean, they're going to be happy with that because that's considerably warmer than freezing temperatures, right? And then they can still kind of like ramp up and do their little wing fluttering and stuff to increase the internal heat of the hive. So
like 50 to 60.
yeah, I mean, I think you're just trying to keep them out of freezing temperatures.
Yeah.
Bees can totally exist in 50 to 60 degrees. That's not detrimental to, I mean, I have bees that are flying here and out foraging in 50 to 60 degree weather. So I don't know. I would check that, and that might drastically reduce the batteries needed, and then also the heating source and the stress on your heating source.
That was a part of the technology part. we also have like a microphone and radio, so like
So we can hear the bees.
yeah, and we
Awesome.
wanted to monitor them. This is the FM like USB radio, and Mr. Natus got us like so many technology that we're thankful
Yeah, a
for.
lot. Like we're still deciding which ones to use because he brought like spares
He,
ones.
so like this is kind of like a USB like plug one, and he got this. I think it's over there in the. I'm gonna get it.
It's like
Wow, that's cool.
And
And so
then-
that's an FM radio transmitter?
yeah.
Wow, that's
It is.
wild.
It is. So yeah, cause we researched that we could keep track of like the bees' mood by like their buzzing, and we can like hear what they're.
So he got us this to
Yeah.
be able to connect it to the FM radio, so that we
Okay.
could, cause like so we'll have like it's not really a computer, but we'll have a computer in the bee safe to to control the heat and cool. So like if we want to turn on the fan or turn off the heat or something, that's what we would use.
Sure.
But like it wouldn't be a computer where we could technically just plug this in. So like he got us this so that we
No,
could do that.
exactly.
And we have the microphone in Mr. OG's room. He got us a microphone also recently so that we could hear them and it could be we can monitor their health. And then talk to him about the camera and temperature and heat.
Oh, okay, so they're talking before about how we're using the camera, so to check the temperature in the bee safe behind us. So
Yep.
we plugged in the heater inside the bee safe, and that generated heat, and then we closed the top lid and we just let it sit there for a few minutes. And
Cool.
then we kept on checking in on it because Mr. Needus downloaded an app on his phone, and he bought a camera, a thermal camera. So when we plug the camera into his phone, it tells us, we just point the laser and it tells us the heat inside.
That's
the bee safe.
amazing.
He
That's
has some
amazing.
great things to show us.
So we basically went out around the whole bee safe, and the temperature stayed the same, which that means our installation inside the bee safe is working.
So you have a good seal on it.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's fantastic.
Also, like, me and Mr. Natus, he told me this cool thing where it was like, if the queen bee doesn't continue to produce, then the bees kill her. He told me.
Yeah.
So, he wanted to make sure the queen bee was like safe and nothing happened to her. So he also, I think he already has it, a thermal camera to make sure that nothing, like, we can check if she's still there and alive with the heat. So he also got that to make sure she's alive and that the bees don't kill her if she's not reproducing. So he also got that as technology. And then he got us he already has the thermometer solar panels. We're building the solar panels. So we have the cells and we're making them and soldering them upstairs.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
Jared and
The,
Sean.
the boys were soldering up
Yeah.
for us.
Wow.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Wow.
First.
I run like a little bit of my farm off of a solar panel. I can show you guys. If I can swap my camera. Well, let me swap.
Oh, that's cool.
So these are 200. It's 100 watt each. So that's 200 watts. And then I run it in here. I use larger batteries than what you guys are using. These are called Trojan. They're specifically made for deep cycle, and then I run it to this breaker panel. So if there's ever a trip, I don't fry my batteries. And that's my solar controller.
Oh, yeah, we have
That's
those
cool.
too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, some saver, and then that's a AC/DC inverter, or DC/AC inverter, excuse me. Yeah, just I think the solar is a really cool way to go for remote power when you don't have access to regular electricity. So that's really, really awesome.
We kind of got this idea from you. It's the elevation system.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually
It's like,
explaining that.
so like, thank you for, we kind of used it. So it's gonna be
Nice.
like, it's
Well,
gonna
this
be
is
like,
kind of just
bring
like
it
a
up.
little model right now.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
gonna, so it's gonna be like, wait, stand it up real quick. It's gonna be like a platform right here to hold
Sure.
the hive. That's what's
Yep.
gonna hold the hive, and then like here's where we're gonna have the oil. So like, let's say there were like any like mites or ants or any bugs or anything climbing up, like then, and they were managed to get through because like there would be oil here too. They would kind of drown in the oil because.
Yep.
Mr. O'Donnell gave us an idea to put oil in there.
Yeah.
So we,
Yeah, it's better. I initially started using water, and the issue with water was the evaporation,
yeah. he's-
right? And so for me, I changed my own oil, so I have used motor oil, and so that's what I wound up using.
Would that be like would
Would you suggest
maintenance
that?
like matter? Cause like don't you
Say
do
that-
you have
say
to
that again?
change- Would like there be a problem with maintenance? Like would you have to keep changing the oil? Cause like
I haven't changed the oil once.
oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So like
I filled up my things. I think occasionally it mixes with rainwater too, right? Like mine are out in the open, not in a safe,
Uh-huh.
so they're completely filled. I haven't had to add anything to them
Yeah.
since I filled them with motor oil.
Sean, you want to talk real quick?
Sure.
Hey Sean, nice to meet you, buddy.
The moat will be inside. You can just talk
The moat?
about it.
Alright, so, so this is to be safe again. We're gonna have a moat. We're gonna have like gravel
what we call
underneath.
it,
Well,
yeah.
we're calling it a moat, but there's gonna be
System.
gravel underneath it. So to be safe doesn't flood.
Right.
So, and
Also-
because the water will just go through the gravel.
Yeah,
It's
and
also
it'll just-
Yeah, and
Yeah. Can I ask what?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're gonna get to it too, but yeah, like humidity could be a factor in this thing, right?
yeah, I guess, yeah.
I mean, I think that's brilliant to have the drainage, the moat around it, because you want to be able to wick that water away from it, right? Because then,
The be safe slanted.
It's slanted so like it doesn't.
I don't know
like,
if you'll see
Yeah,
it
it's
here. but
slanted,
it's
so
slightly-
rainwater will like
so the water
run
will-
off.
Yeah.
are you gonna collect that so they can have drinking water?
We're talking to Mr. Natus about that, where we'll have like kind of like I don't know how to say it. Not like kind of like a funnel running down on the side of the Be Safe, and that
Sure.
collects the rainwater, and then
Cool.
we'll hook that up to like a small tube that will have it. We'll like angle it so that it drips occasionally, but not like just pours out.
I think that's a great idea because if you watch them, if you watch bees forage for water, they usually find small ponds. They need places where it's not like a running river, you know what I mean? But where they can land, or if it's a small drip. So I think something like that. But are you guys putting this in the reservoir?
When we
Well, we're-
graduate, I
Well,
think that's what we plan.
We're gonna plan to, and if it is successful, well, we have like places where we would like potentially want to put them, like in like local like parks or like open
Sure.
spaces, environments that we like planned out. We actually went on Google Maps and we placed we marked like places where it would be potentially good to place that be safe.
Before I show you the map with all of the locations, I just like wanted to say real quick, the gravel would also serve as a good thing for the be safe, because if any animal wanted to crawl underneath to like get
Yeah.
inside the gravel, they wouldn't be able to get through. So that's also a
Yeah,
good thing.
I've heard that could be an issue. I've been fortunate. I have raccoons on my property, and they've yet to mess with my hives. But yeah, I think that's a good thought to have, especially if it's in a public place like that.
Yeah, we're planning on putting like if we got as far to finish our be safe and we could put it in public spaces.
Before we graduate,
We would put
we
it in
will.
public spaces, so that would also be an issue that we would be able to solve with the gravel.
Cool. Yep,
The map is right here.
I see that.
So the map, I don't know if you can see it that much, but there's like yellow flowers.
where we
Yep.
would want to place the be safe.
That's where we
potentially.
plan to place the be safe.
So most of
that-
the locations are like green spaces, parks,
Yeah.
and places where it's not too like crowded and not.
Is it all in Jersey City?
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool.
Well, we were measuring, and it was like we had to put each one 4 square
one,
miles.
one square mile.
Wait,
Yeah.
They're- Yeah,
Like
they're in
each
all the
1
places
square mile
on the
apart.
map are within a square mile on a box. So we made a box,
Perfect.
and each side is 1 square mile, and we put all the places in that
Yeah.
and within that box.
And why is that? Why did you have to focus on 1 square mile?
Well, we just wanted to separate them, like put them. If we were like, let's say we finished Be Safe and we're putting it in public spaces, we'd want to put them all in like a different area. We wouldn't want to have the like one Be Safe all in like that
Because
like
then the
close
bees
to each
would-
other.
We'll go to
Yeah.
the different be safes and they'll get crowded.
And
Yeah, it'll be
we
fine.
like, I guess a good thing like if we did put it a square mile, like why we did a square mile.
Keeping the distance
Like
was just-
it was just the distance we decided, but I think
Yeah.
it'd be good because like then like like different areas, different people would know about the project in each area.
I think that's really good. I mean, there's nothing wrong having beehives next to each other, but I think with this idea of trying to
Yeah.
like promote awareness, increase pollination around the city, then I think it's really it's a wise idea. But like, if it ever really took off, I mean, there's no issue with you stacking, 3 to 100 right next to each other.
Yeah.
They can all the bees will. Yeah, there's enough out there for them to forage off of, you know what I mean? But I think as far as an awareness deal and spreading the
Yeah.
pollinators around the city, that's a really good choice.
With awareness, we've like tweeted a bunch of like entomologists and museums on Twitter, like
We
telling
have
them.
Cool.
Talk to them.
And it's pretty cool because there's this one museum, the Houston Museum of Natural Science, tweeted us back and they said that it'd be nice if we emailed them and talked to their entomologists and if they could see our project. And then another entomologist said that they wanted to see our project. So like using social media, we also give awareness and we also try and talk to them so that they could know about our project and they could like know why we're doing it and they want to see our bee safe, which is pretty cool.
That is the wave of the future, my friends.
Yes.
Huh?
And
Social media at all times. We got to do it.
So when they
Yeah.
give us suggestions, it just helps us out
Yeah.
more because we can think of new technology to add on our Be Safe, so it will be the biggest benefit for the bees.
Absolutely.
The most tweet that we've tweeted is like suggestions for our entrance, like the spacing, the bee space,
So
and
this
how
is
we
our
should make it.
entrance. It looks
Whoa.
like this. There's it's a like. So we've researched about bee space, and Mr. Natus had a little stick measured out to see how much the bees need to just like fly through, just enough without hurting them and their wings. So we were planning this entrance is for them to, when they enter the bee safe, we want to brush off all the like the varroa mites they would have or any like bugs they have on them.
That's going to be in place always?
Like, would it always be with the bee safe?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's
Because what you're going to, I think, let me show you what I have, but a similar thing. So, you know, you can harvest honey from bees, right? But you can also, flip technology, y'all. Flip my camera. Can you see this thing?
Yeah.
Let me set it up on this table. Hey, that's my dog. Hey, Flo. All right. This is from Brushy Mountain, which is, I don't know if you guys have checked them at all, but they're a great apiary source. This is a pollen catcher, okay? So you put this on the front of your hive, and the bees have to fly through these little holes. You see that? And what that does is you take some of the pollen off of the foragers. You've seen the bees when they have their back legs are loaded with pollen.
Yeah.
So I would say my only concern with that is I think you're inadvertently creating a pollen catcher that you might be stripping the foragers. If they're constantly having to go through that, that might brush off what they've gone out and foraged for honey production.
Oh yeah.
So we might then.
That's cool. Thank you.
Thank you for
Now-
that suggestion.
No problem. I would just, because I mean I think the idea of trying to ward against varroa mite is great.
We also were thinking like if the varroa mites would get stuck on the
Yeah.
brushes, so Mr. Natus
Or they
told
like
us
hang
that,
out there.
or
Yeah.
they were just hanging in there, so they won't really like brush on as they're going, trying to brush them off. So we made it clear because the sun kills like all of them. All of them, Mr.
heat
Natus
or
told
like
us.
sunlight would kill the
Heat,
varroa
sunlight
mite.
would kill it. So Mr. Natus suggested for it to be clear, so it could easily
Sunlight.
go through. So the
So-
sunlight
Sure.
could go through.
Also, another thing, we would have to put the bee safe in sunlight for the solar panels and for this.
And for that, yeah.
And then, like you asked if the entrance would be connected to the bee safe at all times. So the bee safe SketchUp, like I don't know if you can see it, but there's kind of like a long tube running through,
Yeah.
I see that.
and then it
That's what
connects
it's
to the beehive.
So that would be the entrance.
So this would be
Oh, so the entry is there.
Yeah.
this would be what connects to the beehive. Where's the entrance? So this is what we plan on doing. We already marked it. We're gonna cut this through, and then we're gonna put this here.
And it's like,
So this is where it would connect to the beehive, because the beehive's over there. But Greg's bringing it. Okay. So it has like so there's like a part where the bees could enter from, and it's kind of like rectangular, and it's not the same size, but we're gonna work on that. But it's kind of like this
is-
part.
Yeah, that's entrance reducer.
Yeah. So we would just kind of like replace it with this. And
And
this,
so how long is that tube?
we're gonna connect it to the P.
No. In your SketchUp, you have it angled off to the side to like an underground type of entrance.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh.
the water.
Or not underground,
that's
but
our house
you know.
that we did.
So before.
Our plan was to make
Yeah.
before the bees entered the brushing system.
Yeah,
we
they go
had a
through a
little
mini house.
like a mini
Like-
house just to fly through. But Mr. Natus said that's not needed, and it's
Also, we wouldn't want them to like nest in it.
or nest in it.
Yeah, because I think what you might, what could be precarious there if that entry tube is really long or it's really detached from the entry to the hive. If you look at any sort of wild hive or just a regular bee box, the entry point is right there at the hive, right? It's not a long distance to travel for the bees.
So you're saying it shouldn't be long, so the bees could.
Yeah, because part of, through the life cycle of a bee, they're born, they become a nursery bee, they start taking care, then they become a guard bee of that entry. That is a job for a section of the bees during their life cycle before they come out, become foragers, and then before they die. So that guarding aspect of the entry port and the entry being close, I don't know this per se, but anything I've seen is that entry is always right there at the hive. And I could see, okay,
So
that long
can't be
tube,
too
that
long.
they might start colonizing that whole tube with comb, and then they might just make the entry point all the way down there at the end of the tube. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
it does.
So I would be hesitant, or I would do more research to see to think about that about entries for
Yeah.
bees.
Okay.
Maybe other people are doing it that way. I've never seen it, but that would be something I would be concerned about.
Where we actually planted a flower that attracts bees for them, like we are
Chinese
thinking-
forget me not. Attracts.
Chinese forget it. All right, right
we are
on.
thinking to plant around the entrance to attract them.
Kind of, yeah.
Sure.
And then like also for around the entrance, it would have mushrooms. Like
Mushrooms. You want to explain it? Show them.
All right. So we're gonna have mushrooms, which act as like a repellent for varroa mites.
Nice.
So, and that's gonna be like around the bee safe with the flowers that Maria was just talking about.
What kind of mushrooms do we know?
It's like a type of mycelium. It's mycelium. Like a type of
Yeah, yeah.
mycelium.
Oyster mushroom or something like that, maybe? I don't
I
know.
think so.
We're already starting to plant.
Plant something you can eat. Don't plant something poisonous. Okay?
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool idea. I've fortunately not had a huge issue with varroa mite. Yes, they are on some of my bees. I would also say when you look in, are you guys going to be purchasing hives, or are you going to be utilizing someone else with their own hives?
Have our hives.
We have our
We
hive.
bought-
Yeah.
Okay.
He needs, like,
They
with actual
sponsored.
bees.
Yeah, they got
If
like,
you-
the hives with sponsors.
Okay, there's like breeders, right? Because varroa mite has become such a big deal. Like I did a split where I took part of another hive and I gave them a queen, right, to make a new hive. And I purchased a queen from a place called Honey Bee Genetics. And there's many breeders doing this, but they're breeding queens that are very meticulous about self-cleaning, and because of that, the whole hive is like very OCD about cleaning everything. And with that, they pick the mites off of each other. And so they're breeding this, I guess, character trait, for lack of a better term, into their queens. So that's something too you could look about it, getting really strong genetics that are geared towards fastidious cleaning of the hive. But so going back to it, I have varroa mite, but nothing that's so huge that I'm actively trying to, I guess, thwart it. Like I'm not putting out pesticide for it. My bees are just flying in and out of a regular box, and I still haven't had a huge issue with it.
For your.
So
Oh no! Wait. Continue.
all
Sorry.
I was going to say is I think there's something to be concerned about it, but I also wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel too much,
Yeah.
right? In trying to thwart this. I think it's good to think about it, but then I think also like, letting the bees also kind of build up their own tolerance and their own fight against this pest is a good thing for us to be breeding into the genetics of the bees, rather than us creating all these apparatus to clean them or protect them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's just something to keep in mind.
For your beehives, do you have any like anything outside of the beehive protecting them? Like.
No,
No.
you guys want to take a look? No, okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'm right here. So I have two hives. I did a split, and one of my hives didn't make it through the winter. This is my big bad hive, and I say that because they're a little bit aggressive. Not super aggressive, but they're not as chill. They don't like me going real close to their hive. This has been here for a couple years. It's literally doing nothing more than sitting on a pallet on cinder blocks. And that's it. The only thing I'll do is, do you see that piece of metal that's to the right side of the
Yeah.
beehive? That's just a piece of corrugated metal. And if we get a heavy rain, it's probably about 4 feet long. I sit it on top of the box, and I put a brick on it. And all that really is to keep the water from hitting their entryway. But that's it. And but I have those. My box tops are what they call telescoping tops, where it hangs over all the boxes. I can get closer to the other hive and I'll be able to show you that better.
Is it like a huge problem, like for protection of your beehive in California? Yeah, California. Is it like a problem, like the elevation? Is it like
So
a problem with like
The bees get
their
like,
protection,
harmed or
like
anything.
anyone taking them away or getting?
no, but again, this is on my own private property, right?
Oh,
And I think also what you're going to find is the vast majority of people are freaked out by bees.
maybe.
So, I mean, I have them on my fence, and I almost feel like that's great protection, because who's going to jump the fence and land on a beehive? No one. So no, I've had zero problems with people tampering with my hives.
And like no
Um,
animals or anything try to go close
Nope.
to it.
I've had no problems with it whatsoever.
Like you said, raccoons are on your property, so they don't like go near it or anything.
Nope, haven't had any problems with that. So yeah, and again, I'm in a much more moderate climate than you guys, right? I maybe get down to 30. I don't get snow on the ground here. Now my summers do get very hot, but it's a different kind of heat from what you guys experience. My summers, we can get up to 100, 105 degrees, but it's a dry heat. We have almost, 30, like 0 to 30% humidity. It's a different kind of climate. So in the summer, I may have to shade them a little bit because it's too much heat hitting the box. But on the whole, I have to do very little. I will say that these telescopic tops, this is the hive that I lost, unfortunately. Yeah, they just didn't make it through the winter. These tops here,
Yeah.
again, you can get them from Brushy Mountain. You have that type?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
these-
we have the same beehive.
I'm pretty sure that's the same exact beehive we have.
That beehive.
Beautiful. I really think these are great tops. I didn't have these for a long time, and them being topped with metal helps shed the
We have
water
one, like,
off.
We have this is the top of our.
Yeah, it's the same
I'm
exact
looking.
one.
Yeah, that's the exact same one. So,
what happens
perfect.
to your hive during the winter, like?
I'm not sure. I checked them prior to winter, and they had been strong. The queen was laying, and to be honest, I just don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough of a workforce built up, meaning like she hadn't laid enough brood, enough eggs, and so that they weren't able to sustain themselves for those months. Maybe they didn't have enough honey stored, though I thought they had plenty.
You have to get rid of the hive.
I need to go in there, to be honest. So the group that I go to here, if you can see my shirt, the backwards beekeepers.
Yes.
These people are exaggerating, but I haven't gone in there. I've noticed that they're not there, and I've just sort of let it be for right now. When I do go in there, I'll kind of see what happens. If things were maybe very diseased, then yeah, I'll probably just get rid of the equipment. I'll keep at least the frames, and I'll keep the boxes and just clean everything out. But most likely, or they could have swarmed and they could have gone and said, I'm not sure. I can report back to you once I've gone in there.
What was the black thing that was underneath the platform for the beehive?
I will show you. That's the thing that you did with the bowl on the PVC.
Oh, that's the elevation.
Yeah, that's the oil trap. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my oil trap. So, I use, this is a metal pipe,
Yes.
and I believe that is 1.5 inch pipe. And then this is a reduction coupling that you use for drainage pipes, ABS plastic, but it's just rubber. So it's about 3 inches on the wide part, and it reduces, and it just has a clamp on
So
it.
what about climbing? How did they? I can see little things stuck to the hive.
Yeah, that's ants and stuff stuck to the bottom of it.
So how they stick with it?
I didn't. I think that's overflow. That's overflow of oil from when water mixed into it.
So like it just like the oil just went onto the pipe. You didn't actually need to put
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so I filled it with motor oil, right? And I think when it rained or what have you, things
Yeah.
kind of overflowed and it mixed a little bit with water.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are just bugs that are sitting down at the base.
Yeah.
But I've had zero issues with ants, climbing in. So
Yeah, that the elevation system is like something just to keep it
I want to show you our BC.
Can we show it?
But like,
yeah, please.
Yeah, okay. This way. Okay, so that's like yeah. This is okay. So this is the BC. I don't know if you can see me.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, okay. So the way we started with our BC, I have like pictures that I can like tag you on Instagram and Twitter so you can see them. But there's like pictures and videos. There's also this YouTube video we made. It's called Progression of the Anto Savers, and it has all of the videos and pictures of us building the BC. And so you'll see like it wasn't nothing near to this. It was like
Together, we had wood and we
Yeah.
had to drill together and we silicones stuff and then we had to,
and it was like simple, like just wood and
plain
platforms, and the legs were just like it wasn't anything that put together. Mr. Natus, we're very thankful that he's
brought
such a
us.
great mentor.
Yeah, he's very
he's great with building and with helping us on the technology. So
Awesome.
we started off, I think, with this. We started off with the wood and the legs. So we would put these two like legs, right? It's just like kind of like a triangular opening.
A 90-degree angle.
When we started it, it was laid down on the floor so it wasn't standing up. So we first constructed it when it was laying on the floor, and then we eventually slid it up when it was done.
It was kind of like half of a rectangle. Like it was like just like like two sides, like just the corner of the BC.
Like we put them together, and when we put them together, they made a 90-degree
Yeah.
angle.
Got it.
So
Nice.
we took the legs and the platforms, and then we put Gorilla Glue and silicone, and then we put them together. And then we like made our way to making all four, and we put them together. And then someone had to go in the BC and put insulation, and they
The
had to.
insulation is right like on the side, like
I'm
inside.
gonna take a picture and then show
right
you
on the side of our.
And what is the insulation is what? Rigid foam?
Yeah, it's styrofoam.
Okay.
It's like big rectangular pieces of styrofoam that I just glued, that I just stuck to each side.
Wait.
Got it.
I don't think you can see it either.
I can kind of see it. Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
Yeah, it's that blue styrofoam, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
And then
it-
we also have tape on there, insulation tape, to like make sure it's stuck all together.
Awesome. I mean, the fact that you were able to test the thermal leak with the camera,
Yeah.
that's huge. I mean, for you to be able to see, I can see that.
Wait.
He
Actually.
has an app and then he has his device and he just connects. It's like a little camera that he connects his phone.
Yeah, I've heard about these. They sound really cool. Uh-oh.
And he goes like
You break, you buy.
once we went inside to be safe with that, so it was kind of like like night vision, but it was kind of like more heat. Like it was like a night vision camera, but it was with instead of like it was like it detected the heat. We also used the
Cool.
we used the thermal.
We use
Gun.
this as the camera.
That,
So,
this is the device.
so you can,
No.
so you like, let me show you.
You put it
You
on.
kind of like, you can stretch this out and see if like any heat was escaping. And then,
safe. Close it.
and then there's this part here that I'm going to show you now. It's kind of like it's ceiling tape.
Yeah, it is. I told him it's like.
Okay. It's ceiling tape, and we used it to like, so, because like before it had the ceiling tape, like the B-safe wouldn't close like
Yeah.
that well, and it wouldn't, and the heat would escape, of course. So we had to
Okay.
do that so that like the lid could close nicely, and it wouldn't like slam the B-safe either if we close it, and then like also for heat not to escape. So that was the cool thing too.
And we painted this whole be safe ourselves. Like
Wow, awesome.
Mr. Natus had
was
this.
fun.
It was like
Extra, it was extra.
it was extra paint that he had, and it was actually like a weatherproof one. So
Yeah.
it would
Very
be good.
cool.
It would be good to stand in weather. So we just went and painted it. It was a little fun.
If
part
it
of
started
the-
raining,
if
like
it started raining, it wouldn't really like come off or
affect it,
anything.
it wouldn't come off.
And just make it look presentable and nice.
I think it's a really cool idea. My off the hand comments would be I would address the entry idea.
Yeah.
I think there should be some more research there
And the
about
heating
what would
pad.
really that would function well. Yeah, something there. I think that Varroamite thing with that entryway,
Yeah.
I would double check that and kind of see maybe what other people are doing, and if
the
it's
heating
needed.
pad, I'll research today and I'll just like tag you on Twitter and I'll
Yeah.
just tell you about the heating pad and light bulb idea.
And our
Yeah, that's for me. Somehow I feel like the heating pad seems like a better idea in my opinion. I feel
Yeah.
like the light bulb, too, with the light source on, like if that's
Yeah.
going on all night to maintain heat, what does that do to the hive? Do they want light on them? I don't know. I'm just asking questions,
Yeah.
right? To me, the heating pad seems something that would be pretty foolproof, and especially these ones that are made like to be soaked and to be wet and be in greenhouses. They're pretty durable and it's pretty low tech.
And if it would
And I-
like stay on the whole time and
Yeah, and then I would, with that in mind, I would address what your target internal heat for the Bee Safe is at what points of the year. You know what I mean? Like, even if you can keep your beehive in the dead of winter at 45 degrees, that's still way better than 22, than 32, right? I mean,
it is.
so I think cueing in on what is ideal or what is safe or what is optimal for the hive at the various points of the year. The other thing that comes to mind is humidity. That you guys live in a very humid environment, and if you're locking one box inside of another box, condensation that might occur.
Yeah.
And I know you have fans, but I still think that
Yeah,
would
take
be
a
something to me
closer
that could
look.
get really fungally really quick.
Okay.
And so I think that would be,
That's what
you know,
we research
is it
on
a
that.
maybe it's a vented bottom for the summer or something like that, or the face of it is left open during the summer, or something of that nature where the Bee Safe can be augmented, because I think that would be
Or aired out.
that- yeah. And then the one book I would like to recommend, because it was what was recommended to me the first time I went to a bee club meeting, was, albeit kind of, you're like, wait, really? Is The Idiot's Guide to Beekeeping. And I know you know the Idiot's Guide series, right? The
Yeah.
Idiot's Guide to Chess or whatever. The people that they hired to write this specific one did a fantastic job, not about just conventional beekeeping, but really geared towards the hobbyist, the backyard beekeeper, and the holistic beekeeper that's not looking to put pesticides and all of these
Something
controls
like
on
major
there.
or something like more.
And and it's a real easy read. There's good diagrams, and I think there might be a lot of
Okay.
valuable information in that book for you guys to look at as a club and to maybe derive new ideas or to get answers for certain questions.
That's cool.
On that note, though, I have to run because I got people coming to help me in my garden today.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, here briefly, watch, look, it's a walking tour. Hey, there's my orchard. I can show you the bees are going crazy in the fruit trees right now. Let's see if we can find. Yeah, these are nectarines, white nectarine.
Uh-huh.
Are they still here? Yeah, here's a bee foraging. In any event, so I have some friends coming over to help me in the garden right now. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to run. But and then yeah, that's my one dog. Haha, look, fun times. All right. And then this is my other big dog,
Ooh.
Chops. He wants to be let out there. And then this is my garden.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so that's all garlic.
That's
This was
really
all
cool.
wheat that I just chopped down. And then this is for my pollinators. These are all California native plants.
Oh.
And I keep those around my garden to bring beneficial insects. Because aside from honeybees, we also have native bees, right? Which were solitary. And they do a lot of pollination of the native plants in the area. But yeah,
Okay.
I hope we can do this again. I look forward to talking to you
Yeah,
guys or
like,
seeing more
once-
stuff,
Put
you
some
know?
more
Once
stuff
we
on
put
it.
more
Yeah.
stuff on it and take
Yeah.
what you said and suggested.
When we're like almost done, well, you might not see me because I'm back here, but when we're almost done, like we'll send you pictures and tag you and a
Tag you
bunch
on
of
Twitter
them.
and everything.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because this is like this is great because like this Skype call is like
Good for
how do I
us
say it?
having
good for
social
us,
communication,
And it
so that we
benefits us.
actually talk to
And
a
also like
beekeeper
your
and
suggestions
su-
and your help
suggestions.
like really helped us as well.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad I could be of help to you guys, and I really,
Thank you so
you guys are doing
much.
really
We
innovative
thank
stuff.
you
So I
a
think it's a really cool project that you guys are undertaking.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I'd like to, if we want to do these conversations or social media or what have you, I very much, any way that I can help, I'm interested.
We also want to thank you for helping us with our Grammy song because we're all part of it.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
it sounded really great. We thank you so much
Thanks.
for that too.
Hey, anytime I get to play a little bass, I'm excited about it. No, it was really fun. I got to work with my friend on it, and
Yeah, it sounded really great. We really loved it. The final
Yeah.
piece.
And one of the
Fun
angel
song.
savers.
yeah.
So that was cool. Thank you for
Thank you
Skyping
for-
us and
Thanks.
helping us out because it benefited us a lot. And then
Cool.
yeah, thank you for all of this.
Everything.
And we would love to Skype call you again, like near the end of the year, towards
Yeah.
when we're almost done, to show you.
Yeah, please. Just
we
have
got
Mr.
to
O'Donnell,
We will.
he has my number and we're in good contact. So you tell him when you guys are thinking about it, him and I will lock down a day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Have a fantastic week, huh?
Thank you
so
Elliott.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Savers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.